And I've been joined by, there's loads of comments on Mixcloud. Thanks for pulling up on Mixcloud. Puerto Rico's in the building. Go and check him out. Cheap Luxury's going to be on after this show. He'll be on at 10 a.m. So go and check out... he's on there anyway. He'll comment on it. So in Puerto Rico, it's 82 degrees there. So before we get into Gus again, let's have this.
Gaff Clothing, handmade in the UK, empowering you to be the best you can be, no matter the circumstances. Be you, be awesome, live life. Head on over to dillagaffclothing.uk.
There you go, one of our amazing sponsors. He actually does it. He actually does his show for us as well now. So we're with Gus. There we go.
Good morning.
So you help people with their social media. Now, is that, how do you help them? Is it managing in it, or is it teaching them how to use it? Which one is it?
It's both. So at the expense of boring everyone, basically a long career in marketing, worked for some of the world's biggest companies, etc., etc. Anyway, left all that behind to run my own pub. The owner of my local pub said, "Oh, I'm looking for somebody to run my pub." I said, "Oh, I can do that." So I took it over for a couple of years, and while I was there, obviously running a pub and doing the social media, quite frankly, if you're not doing marketing, you're not going to get bumps on seats, right? So I applied all my marketing knowledge there, and I thought, actually, this is a pain in the backside, to be honest, because I'm running my business all day and I'm doing marketing, etc. So when I left the pub, it was only ever going to be short term. I left the pub, set up my own marketing agency, and I decided I'm going to help people with managing their social media. But what I've discovered over time, particularly during what's happening right now, is that people don't want to make long-term decisions. They don't want to pay somebody else just to manage it kind of long term. So what they'd rather do is just get me to train them how to do it. And that's cool. So I do the training, I do the short term, whether it starts from an hour right up to, weeks on end if people want, or I could just take it all off their hands. It's people are making long-term decisions, or they weren't last year. This year they are, actually, interestingly enough, because I think there's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, a bit more optimism right now. I do both, basically. I help manage clients and I help, kind of train them up as well. So
yeah, because it is interesting. It is full-time if you're doing it. Because I probably post too much, but for me, it's a bit like you being, everyone's being themselves. If something pops into my head, I share it. If I see a video that's funny, I don't think, I've shared 3 posts today. I can't share another one. No, stop that. I'm sharing it again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people are seeing, it's like they're lifting the lid. They're seeing my crazy mind, my crazy world, and all the stuff that tickles me, amuses me. I'll share it with people, and So,
but that's how people get to know you, right? That's the important thing, and I think. First things first, there's no such thing as sharing too much on social media. There is like the technical bits, or, you post, for example, if you post something on LinkedIn and then an hour later you post something else, it kind of reduces the reach of the last post and all that kind of stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, quite frankly, if you got something to say, you might as well say it. And it doesn't matter how often whether you post once every 10 minutes or once every 10 weeks, just post something and be consistent, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, because I see people, I've got some friends who probably post he probably posts once or twice a day, and he always posts one funny meme every day, and I look forward to it. Do you know what I mean? And that's all he does. I think, well, he's chose that's the one that he's chosen today to share with us, and it's funny and it's hilarious, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? So I get that as well. And sometimes you might say, well, you can dilute it because you're just throwing everything at it, and you should critique it into this nice, just give us the good stuff, but whatever. But I don't know. It's horses for courses, I suppose, isn't it? It depends what you're doing. If we was a big multinational, if we was I don't know, Sony or something, then me dicking around doing what I'm doing wouldn't work, would it? It wouldn't. People would be like,
well, you say that, but it's all about personality, right? And I know, not that we're comparing ourselves to, Amazon or Virgin or Microsoft or anything like that, but all of these big businesses still have a face, right? You still know Bill Gates and Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and all these kind of people, and whatever kind of people they are, whether they're funny or not, etc. You still know them, and you still see their face, and you still want to get to know them. I always thought Richard Branson was quite corporate until I saw him up in a hot air balloon, and I thought, oh, actually, he's kind of, he's probably a fun guy kind of thing. So
yeah, but he cooks on his private island for these guests, doesn't he, and everything, which is interesting. And but everyone's a bit marmite, aren't they? Because some people like him, and then people go, oh no, he's ripped everybody off and he's done this, and he should be paying all his staff. And well, there's two sides to a coin, isn't there, at the end of the day?
Yeah, exactly. You either like somebody or you don't, and quite frankly, I think while he's sitting on his island with all his mates sipping the world's most expensive champagne, I don't think he's overly concerned with Karen down the road worried about how much he's paid his staff this year, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's I'm sure he cares as on some level.
You're right. It's a bit like stuff that goes on, and everyone's won't go into all the details, but everyone's going, oh, this is happening and that's happening. Says, do you really care about Doris in Cornwall who's just died of COVID? No, you don't. You don't even know who she is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You don't care about her. Yes, we do. No, you don't. You don't. Truly, you don't care about her because you never even met her. You don't even know. She's just a name. It's just a name that's been invented. Do you know what I mean? That's been given to you. So.
Absolutely. And I know it's a very tenuous link to social media, but that's kind of the thing that ultimately you can own. Humans, it's our nature to be selfish. We always want to know what's in it for us, right? So whenever you're using marketing or social media, you do get those companies that say, oh, please buy my stuff. This is what I sell. Nobody cares what you sell. What they care about is the solution kind of thing. So yeah, you're right. I don't care about, Doris in Cornwall, but I do care about my customers or the people that I'm buying from, my suppliers. What do I get out of working with them kind of thing? So, and it's that kind of stuff. So many people are talking about Trump and Biden and all that kind of stuff. And I know it has some sort of effect on global politics and global economy and all that kind of stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, for me in South Coventry here and, doing a bit of social media for a few small businesses, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, that make a difference.
I think we forget that, and I try and avoid the news where possible, and some things I do pick up on, but I very rarely put the news on the TV because I'll watch it and go, oh, here we go again. And so I ignore it, but you do get bombarded with it, some of it on social media. So if you turn it all off and don't watch any of it, I think something hit me last year where I was out, and it was when we was in the depths when we first got into what we're doing, and the sun was shining. I was walking my dog, the birds were singing, things were going on. I was like, none of this cares, does it? Do you know what I mean? None of this is like, all the birds aren't going, oh my God, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? And the squirrels aren't running. Squirrels are still running up and down the tree eating the nuts.
Very little masks.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you just step back and ignore it all, if you wasn't aware of anything was going on, you wouldn't know anything was going on. Do you know what I mean? It's bonkers. So, we're not finished yet, but where's the best place for people to find you? Where can they get hold of you?
So, if basically just go to Google and type in @M Guru UK. So that's my handle everywhere, M Guru UK. And if you type that into Google, you'll find my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my email newsletter, my Twitter, my Facebook, whatever, my inside leg measurement, all sorts of stuff. I've got everything online because that's how social media works. So
excellent.
@MGuru UK, that's where you'll find me.
Wonderful. Now let's see. I urge people to go and watch it. So I've done another thing recently where I was talking about there's a new social media and it's called Clubhouse. I've nicknamed it Cockhouse because I'm like, I'm on there again. And there's Randy Love Pump from Vegas who's going to tell you about his £8.2 billion business and how you can come along. He's on the stage now. They're making that's what makes me laugh. On stage now. They're not on stage. They're not on stage. But we're on stage now. And if you want to talk to Fred, who's, a master multi-million... What's a billionaire doing on Clubhouse talking to Fred in Coventry? Yeah. He's only on there for one reason, people, and it's because they've got no other avenue at the minute to get out there. So the reason for mentioning that is people can be overwhelmed. So if I'm just starting off in business and I go, sugar, I've got to get on social media because I know it's important because I only have my profile. What do I go on? I've got LinkedIn, I've got Instagram, there's Twitter, there's TikTok, there's Clockhouse, there's Zoom. Where do I go? What would you say to people? Where should they start? Where would you go first?
So it very much depends on what you do for a living. But for example, if you are if your business if it's very photography based or product based, if you have loads of stuff, you should be on Instagram. I think if you are a B2B business, you're selling to other businesses, etc., you should be on LinkedIn. Generally, the world and their wife are on Facebook. If I was just saying, right, you should start somewhere, I would start with the nuances of Facebook, because there's so many different avenues on Facebook. For example, you've got Facebook business pages, Facebook groups. You can obviously, you got your Facebook profile. You can talk in other people's groups. You can have conversations, and with the Facebook group of companies, there's like 3 billion people on Facebook who are, I think every 60 seconds, 1.5 million people log into Facebook every 60 seconds.
And
so
perfect.
People are always there. I think that's the thing. So if you're ever going to start with social media, regardless of what, I would always start with Facebook, but whatever channel you use, just make sure that you are not trying to be all things to all people. It's very easy just to try and be on every channel. And ultimately what happens is you dilute your brand, you dilute your business, you dilute your personality, and you just end up showing the worst of yourself everywhere. So just pick one channel and just absolutely go at it and just, smash the hell out of it.
Excellent. Right. We'll take a break and we'll have your track, which I've picked for you, a bit of Aerosmith, Walk This Way. So we'll be right back after this little music interlude.